Hello out there. So Kim O'Neill, personal empowerment coach and mentor, and I was going to do a pre-recorded video for this week. If you've been noticing the last few weeks, I've been doing weekly affirmations and also sharing with you a video that has been connecting with that weekly affirmation and elaborating on it. And this week's video was actually going to be different, which is totally fine and may actually, happen from time to time. But I realized I actually had more that I wanted to say about this week's affirmation. So, okay, just to recap, this week's affirmation is, I allow others to be who they are. And it's so interesting too, because as I put these together, I sometimes pre-plan out which affirmation is going to be the affirmation for that week. And then it's interesting too how I start to go, oh wow, that's relevant to what's coming up, just in time on the calendar, right? We've got the holidays coming up. And I know for a lot of people, not everyone, but for a lot of people, the holidays can bring up anxiety or maybe apprehension, frustration about seeing certain people at maybe holiday functions or events that you have. And so I wanted to do this video on a couple of exercises you can do right now, today, to alleviate some of that, to potentially make positive shifts in your relationships. And this isn't, of course, just for the holidays. You can do this at any time. And let me also just say, if there's anyone here right now, I do not see you. So if you'd like to make yourself known, please feel free to give a like or a heart or something of that sort. And hopefully I'll be able to see you. But so let's look at this. When we have relationships in our life and, whether it be a family member, a friend, a coworker, maybe even just an acquaintance, and maybe there's something about that relationship that bothers us, or just that person, right? We may be thinking, I don't need to have a relationship with that person. And yet that person's in our life to some degree. And maybe we don't like the way that we feel about them. Or maybe we do care about the relationship and we want to improve upon it. Everything is energy. And while we cannot control other people, we cannot change other people, just like they cannot change us. What we see in other people on some level is always a reflection of something that's going on with us. So for that reason, we actually can potentially improve the relationship from an energetic looking at ourselves and working on things within ourselves first. So, and this goes for any type of situation. So this could be, let's say the other person wronged you and the ball is in their court, so to speak, right? To apologize or to make things right. This is not saying that you have to, try harder and make the relationship work, but you might be feeling helpless because maybe you want to improve that relationship. You wish you could do something. There is something that you can do, something on your own that will help both you and potentially the relationship with them. So 2 things I wanted to share with you, and I've got a few notes here just because I wanted to make sure that I touch on different aspects, because we're speaking and feeling our experiences into our reality. Some people come from the perspective of we're primarily speaking things into existence. Other people come from a more emotional standpoint. To me, it's a combination of both, because you can say one thing and be feeling completely different about it. You can say that, I really want this relationship with this other person to be improved. And yet on the inside, still be reeling and seething in how frustrated and angry you were about how something happened. And really, having a lot of negative energy and momentum that's brewing and stewing within you in regards to that relationship. I can't tell if someone just joined right now. Did someone just join? So anyway, okay. So those 2 processes. Yeah. Those 2 processes, I view them as mindset processes, but they're also very much energy processes, because where our focus goes, that's where energy flows. So the 2 processes, the first one is It's called the Book of Positive Aspects. And if you're familiar with Law of Attraction or Abraham Hicks, then you will probably be also familiar with this process. And I'm actually going to just, well, I know this process. I was going to read to you something about it. Here's what's really cool. These processes that I'm going to share with you are incredibly simple, and they work. So when we're dealing with other people, we can tend to think that, oh no, this situation's way too complex. It's not a quick fix. Let all that go. It really can be a lot simpler. So Book of Positive Aspects, get out a sheet of paper, and at the top of the piece of paper, write down positive aspects of, and put the other person's name. Or maybe it's, positive aspects of my relationship with this person. And then start to list the things that you do like about that person, the things that are going well in your relationship. Everything that's positive that you can recall or extract from your experiences with them, list those down. As you're doing that, you'll start to see that you actually gain a momentum of it and can start to see more and more positive aspects. I think there's someone here. Is there someone here? Maybe not. Okay, so really simple exercise and really helpful. So you can start to see that it starts to shift the way that you think and feel about that person and the relationship. And you might find that you want to do it a few times, because we're going off of the intent of you want things to be improved with that person. So of course, if you don't, well, then don't bother with this. But if you do, then this is one way that you can start to shift how you're thinking and feeling about that relationship. Because when you shift that within yourself, then it opens up the space for that other person to also shift within them. And it's not up to you what needs to shift in them. You don't even need to worry about that part. But by you deliberately taking time to shift that energy within you, it provides the space for them to also connect with that if they would like to. So this is one of the exercises you can do. Again, very simple. Get a sheet of paper, positive aspects of, list their name or your relationship with them. List one by one all the things that come to you. There's no right or wrong here. So try not to judge, what you consider to be a positive aspect. If it feels right to you, then it's a positive aspect. Your energy is the indication of if you're moving in the direction that you desire to go. So in that respect, this video does actually tack right onto the video that I shared last week where I talked about the emotional guidance scale and the range of emotions we can have and how they're all informational, but that what's feeling good and connected for us, that's our indication that we're moving in the direction we want to go. Okay, so I hope that made sense for you. If you're watching this, please let me know if that resonated for you. If you have any questions about it, let me know. It is that simple. But I understand, you might still have a question about it. The other exercise I want to share with you is which thought feels better. It's so funny because there was actually a time where this super simple process confused me. And so you can really overthink some of these things and think that everything has to be so much harder than it can be. It can be really super simple too. So which thought feels better? Okay, so first off, think about your situation. So I'm applying this right now to the affirmation and other people in our lives, but you can really apply this to anything. Same with the Book of Positive Aspects process. But in the context of allowing others to be who they are, accepting them for who they show up as, and maybe that frustrates you because maybe you don't like that. Maybe you don't like what they're showing up with, and maybe you don't like how they're interacting with you and whatever shows up in the space of that. So get in the forefront of your mind, okay, what is the situation that you're doing this on, okay? So you want to start off with that, just being aware of what are we talking about here. And then identify, how do you presently feel about that? Do you feel frustrated? Are you pissed off? Are you hurt? Are you angry? Whatever it might be, identify what that is, okay? And then deliberately make this declaration. I am going to choose to reach for better feeling thoughts. Okay, that's the key part to this. I'm going to choose to reach for better feeling thoughts about this situation. And this ties into affirmations and why affirmations are useful and why we use them. Because the thoughts that we hold connect to our experiences in life, whether it be about ourselves, about other people, which is always an extension of ourselves. So, okay. So I'm going to deliberately choose to reach for better feeling thoughts about this situation, about this person. So now, and you can also do this one on paper. And when you're starting off, I think that's more helpful. So have a sheet of paper. Okay, what's the next best feeling thought you can come up with about this situation? This, the fight I had with so-and-so really upset me, but I'm grateful that it gave me the distance in our relationship that I was looking for. It's okay to say that. Whatever it is for you, okay? Now, how do you feel about that thought? Do you feel better or worse than you did previously? Well, maybe not much change. Okay, so what's another feeling thought, a better feeling thought that you can come up with? Having this time away from this person, this situation and having this time away from them really helped me to examine the way that I behave in our relationship. Does this thought feel better or worse than how you were feeling before? Feels better. Oh, okay. And so you're making note of this as you go. Better, worse, same, whatever it is. Maybe, then reach for another thought. Okay, what's an even better thought that I can come up with? I really love this person. I'm learning so much about how other people think and behave through my relationship with them. Does that thought feel better or worse? It feels better. Wow. Who would have thought that this fight that I had with this person, this anger, this frustration, the hurt that came out of it, that also would come out the realization of how much I appreciate having them in my life. And the fact that, yes, we went through this painful experience, but interesting what I learned about myself, about them, about people and relationships in general. Is this feeling better or worse? It feels better. So do that as much as, get in the flow, allow yourself to get into the flow of it. And when you find that, maybe whichever thought you feel like, okay, now I'm complete. I've run this process as far as it's going to go. And whatever, is the last better feeling thought you end up with, that can now start to be your own personal affirmation about that relationship. When you start to think about that person, choose to deliberately think about that better feeling thought that you also have and make that association with them and that thought. And that's how you can start to raise your vibration about the situation, that person, your relationship. And again, also provides the space for that person to connect with that energy in their own way. It's where the two of you can start to meet in the middle again. You can allow them to be who they are and accept them for who they are. While you're still you, but you're choosing to shift the way that you think and feel about it, which provides the space for you two to come back together. Or maybe it just simply makes it so that it's easier for you to be in the same space as them. You don't have to find a way to, have to like them, right? Or have to have more contact or communication with them. Maybe that's not what it's about. Maybe it's simply about you feeling more comfortable yourself while in their presence. I hope this has been helpful for you. Please let me know if it has or not. And if this resonates for you, please feel free to share it as well. I'm also going to upload it to my YouTube channel so you can view it there as well. And I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season. So, you might be watching this at a time when the holidays aren't happening, and that's fine. But for those who are watching it right now, I hope that this provides you a sense of, something that you can do for yourself that also can contribute to how you show up in social situations, and how you can connect and relate to others and potentially find more enjoyment in them, in those situations. So if you've been watching this live, I can't quite tell if you're there or not. So just know that, but I appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa. I know there's actually other holidays and things going on right now. So whatever term, whatever phrase resonates with you, that's what I wish for you. Have a wonderful day, and bye for now.